Okay, time to go over the brown. Again, the brown I'm using right there. I usually don't clean between passes, but since time goes by, then after all, these are supposed to be acrylics. I give it a quick pass with the solvent to make sure that the gun's not gonna get clogged up. Okay. Again, following loosely here. Now with the brown, it's a nice pattern. In some cases, the brown touches the green. In others, it doesn't. It's like freestanding. So I'm gonna try. I mentioned before, later I would do the shading over all the colors. I use the same shading color no matter what color vehicle I'm doing. I remember the first time I did an Africa Corps vehicle, I decided that it would be too dramatic if I use the same color, and I used a lighter color, only to later go back over it because I didn't like the results. The one here is like overlapping with the green. There's so many patterns. Again, as I mentioned, the green and the brown will usually be added on by the crews, so they will do whatever they wanted with it, and so it made for not two vehicles alike, even in the same unit. Tight here. So since there's so many, as I was mentioning before, there's so many different vehicles, different patterns. I usually try to do my German vehicles as much as possible, very different from each other. Since they had so much variety, well, I try to go for variety in the collection. Some of that overspray, I'm kind of rude with a brush. I don't mind because I'm gonna go over everything many times in terms of So I can, you know, make that yellow there a little and cover that overspray. I'm pretty sure I've seen pictures of the vehicle that they used to. Again, there's very little, but I mean very little reference of this vehicle, in partly because they only made about 80 of them. It was trying to get an armored car. This is based on a Czechoslovakian, a Czech tank that was used as a main battle tank early in the war. But by the time this was being done, which was beginning of 1944, it was completely obsolete. So they used this chassis, which was very good for many different vehicles, self-propelled guns, anti-tank guns, and this was a version for a reconnaissance tank, which, you know, when you look at the gun, it's a 20mm gun, which is the same gun, basic gun that they use for anti-aircraft. It's not much of a gun, but again, these vehicles weren't supposed to get in a fight. These vehicles were supposed to find where the enemy was and report back to the main troops and run like hell if they were spotted. So they wouldn't have even, you know, they wouldn't have much in terms of armament. It was not necessary, because their main purpose was speed and then trying to communicate with the main. Sometimes it gets kind of clogged up.